This is what really happens. Everyone just drinks tea.
We just do a little bit to camera. And
They do it, yeah, they do like 2 minutes of work. I have to do the rest of it while they're all drinking tea.
But you made a hash of the window.
All I did was the windows badly, yeah.
So today we've got something a little bit different. A bit of a detailing tutorial. Bald Yoda has got a new car. And...
He hasn't. Well, Bald Yoda's wife
Bald
has got a
Yoda's
new
wife's
car.
got a new car. So
Too
we
fucking
thought
new
we
for me.
to go.
It's got aircon, it's too new for you. I'm ruining
So
this.
we thought of doing, we're going to try and teach him how to detail properly and how to look after the car. So we've washed it, it's had INX and TARDIS to get rid of major stuff.
Q shots of INX,
Yeah.
which stinks by the way.
It's not so bad.
Fucking hell. We got wheels off.
Wheels off, ready to go. So the first thing I want to address is this is the Maguire's
Product placement, how much are we getting paid for this?
This is not a product placement.
No, we're not getting paid anything.
No sponsored content.
No. But we got to eat.
We've got to eat, but this is not
sponsored.
Because there's a problem with this, right? So in the kit you get 500ml sprayer
500ml sprayer.
and a bar of clay.
Bar of clay.
Which this will split into probably 2 so that you can use it twice. So you get two uses.
You can keep folding it over though, can't you?
Yeah,
Is that what we're going to go
like split it in half, use 1 today,
to? Oh, right, I
one
get
another day.
Okay.
So the problem, what happens is people split this into 2 and they think this will last 2 times as well.
I would have thought that would last way more than 2 times.
This will last half a car.
What?
If you're doing it properly, this is last half a car. And this is the issue where people split it in half, use half of this, so they don't use enough.
You don't use enough lube.
And then that's where you get problems.
And you're going in dry.
So instead of using specific quick detailer or clay lube, just use water in a sprayer with a tiny little bit of car shampoo. And then you want to be using around a litre.
A litre for an entire car?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You want to make sure that is the biggest problem.
Keep lubing it up.
Yeah, is just go ham with it, go crazy.
Okay.
And then once that's done, we've got some Carlac Long Life sealant.
Sponsored content?
Which is not sponsored content again. This is all paid for out of Bald Yoda's wallet. So this is going to seal her up, get it done for the winter.
Is that like a protection film thing?
Yeah, it's
Right,
nothing. Okay. It's not super crazy in terms of looks wise, but it's decent, good protection.
Cool.
That's what we want. Get it all done. So crack on with some clay, I guess. Right, so we're going to come in with the clay, nice broad strokes. At the minute, just keep it vague. Using plenty of lube, keep it smooth. And then once you've been around the whole panel, you'll obviously see. You'll start to see some of the stuff coming off. You know, you've seen clay before. Here we go. But this is part of the reason why you do INX and TARDIS first, is to get rid of the major big stuff. So you see all these people coming in and the clay's covered in tar and like, oh look, I'm taking all this tar off. But what you want to do is you just want to have like the contamination, just like the vaguest little brown, you know, something nice, just nice and simple. And then second time round, this depends on how bad the car is. You may have to go 2 or 3 vague passes. But on the second run, when we're going around the panel, look out for little problem areas. So if you see like a slightly, just work that little section a little bit.
Work it, baby.
Just work it. And the main thing to be careful of is just do not drop the clay. So obviously you can see, second time, I hope you can see that, we're starting to get a little bit less and less contamination each time. So you want to do this until the clay comes out pretty much clean. And once you've been around a couple of times, just come in with a microfiber and dry her off. So obviously, like, do you know at the minute you're kind of palming it? When you get into most like harsher areas, you can fingertip it and get a bit more pressure on.
Right.
But what you want to be careful of is if you go too much pressure, you can start to come through the clay, which obviously you don't want to do.
No.
Where at the minute, you see you're getting on the thinner side, so you can always remold it, run it slightly thicker. Yeah, somewhere around that thickness, because then once you start pressurizing it, it'll flatten out anyway.
Right.
So just keep your eye on that, and keep turning it as regularly as possible, really. Right. So at this point, paint's absolutely perfect, no problem areas. And time to get putting some of this on. So,
put it on.
foam applicator, it's called a German applicator pad.
A German?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was one which was like German colour, 3 layers.
I see.
So the idea with this, with any sort of protection sealant, you see people slapping loads and loads of wax on, like absolute heaps of it.
Don't do that.
All you're doing is like you're putting loads on and you're taking loads off, and yet there's still the same amount is actually getting stuck to the paint. So it's like a tiny thin layer.
Makes sense.
So when applying this,
A little bit.
it wants to be really, really tiny thin, like barely visible little layer. And then you can always work on multiple layers. It's more efficient than trying to stick on one big, thick heap of layer.
Are you paying attention to this?
Yeah.
It's definitely
So you can just see in the light, like all the oils.
Kind of can't on the camera, but trust us, people. It's there. Trust us.
And then another thing as well is don't bother leaving stuff like people say leave it 12 hours, leave it overnight. You can do, there is a benefit to that, but it's kind of like diminishing returns and it's going to be a pain to take off. So nice, probably do this bonnet and then once we're done, just start removing it.
Okay.
Nice and thin, and then we can always work on multiple layers if we need to.
What do you remove it with? Oh,
That's
just wipe it off.
microfiber.
Okay.
And then just give it this way as well. You'll minimise any sort of hologramming. If you try
I
to
like
put too
hologram.
much wax on and you try and take it off, especially on a black car, you'll see it as hologram, and
What
because
is-
you can't quite remove it all.
What does hologramming mean?
Hologramming is when you like shimmer the light around the paint, you can sort of see these waves that are in it, and as you
Okay.
move your eye, they kind of float around.
Right.
That's not good. It's
Not good. We don't want
No.
that. Okay.
So nice thin, and now
It's silky smooth.
super smooth.
Oh, he's not wrong.
Oh,
He's not wrong.
Testify.
You can't feel that through the camera, but it's really smooth. Do you want to like rub your bald head on it?
Oh.
Wax on, wax off.
Am I leaving enough on there? Or?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Barely visible. That's what you want.
We're doing Rain X, the only bit I can do.
Chris is doing some Rain X. So the idea with this is you can, there's body odor, but you can just about see a layer, and you want to get a nice thick layer on it and leave it for probably about 5 minutes. This is the one time where you want to leave it. And then once that's done, we're going to come in with a spray bottle of water, mist it, and then take off with a microfiber.
Or kitchen paper. It's filthy, the windscreen still. Sheesh, thought you cleaned this.
It's been clayed, mate.
We're doing wheels in the rain. Does that make sense? What's going on? Wow, that's filthy.
Edit that out.
Pretty bad job, but it's raining, we're pushed for time.
We're right. Yeah, it is raining, and we're pushed for time. So I think they're alright. They're cleaner than any of my wheels. So. For comparison,
Comparison purposes.
they're not that bad because these are fairly new wheels. They've not had a chance to get really mucky yet. The R8 ones, on the other hand. Maybe we should clean this.
Same thing applies for wheels though, you can clay them, you can seal them.
Can you clay?
Yep.
No, I didn't think you'd claim. I thought you'd be risking scratching them too much.
No, because it's just a painted surface, just like the paint.
Yeah, I suppose.
So yeah, everything you do to the paint you can do to a wheel.
Here we see a wild bald Yoda doing what he does best. We're pretty much done.
Pretty much done. So at this point, you should have
So a nice shiny car.
Yay.
Look at the shine. The camera doesn't even do it justice as well. It's like really, really shiny.
And in traditional British weather fashion,
Pissing.
it's raining outside, so by the time he gets it home, covered.
It'll be filthy. How do you feel about
The point is, it's protected, and that's the main thing.
that? So when you wash it now, it'll just slide straight off.
Yeah. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, done.